Welcome back. My name is Uhfgood, and this is the fourth and final video of the day, which will probably uh, be in the middle here somewhere. Um, Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to the end of the page, or maybe we'll get another page. I don't know. I'm just letting this go as uh, like I've been doing it. Anyways, so I'm not really sure which system Blender uses. Uh, Points north of the origin have a positive y, points south have a negative y. Above the origin have positive z. Okay, so really the z coordinates, probably in Blender, I think I noticed this in Godot or Godot, where the z was up and down instead of into. It's kind of weird because whenever I read about computer graphics, because even though I never really programmed that much in them, I read up about them because at one point I wanted to learn it, and usually in like the old DOS programming, 3D programming, Z was always the depth. So like poking into your screen or coming out of your screen was the Z coordinate, and the X and Y were still X and Y, um, like you'd see. Horizontal, vertical would be X and Y, and then Z or Z would be depth. But it appears that this is the other way around. X and Y are your width and depth, and then your, or you could say length and depth, I guess. Anyways, width and depth, and your height is actually your Z coordinate, apparently. So, or yeah. So I don't know how that works out, but anyways. This is where we're at. It's conventional for most Cartesian coordinate systems to be right-handed. To understand this, hold a thumb and index finger and middle finger of your right hand perpendicular to each other. How do I perpendicular to each other? Like that. Like that. Okay. Now orient your hand so your thumb points along the x-axis in the positive direction of increasing coordinate numbers. See the way it's doing it? My thumb is actually pointed out to the x. My y is pointed out into the screen essentially, and my Z is pointed down. Or actually, you could actually do, if I could do it up, I'd do it up. But that's the gist of it right there. Okay. Another way of looking at it is this. You place your eye at the origin, you'd see the three arrows pointing in the directions of the positive x, positive y, positive z, as in figure 1. The order of x, y, z would go counterclockwise. Anyways, z or z is down, y is outward, this is left and right. Okay, I get it. Another way to visualize is to make a fist with your right hand. Your curled finger curls towards you. Stick out your thumb directly to the right. Thumb directly toward the right. And actually it's towards your left because the screen is flipped. So I could just do this. Okay. Now point your finger straight up, Y. Make your middle finger point towards yourself, Z. Well, see, that's what it's showing, middle finger pointing towards yourself. So if Y is up and down, see, so this still shows me that this is depth. See, this is Y, of course, positive going up, and X positive going right, and Z, axes of rotation. Another view of the right-handed system. So they're still saying what I'm saying as far as the coordinate systems go, at least. It kind of doesn't make it clear, because what it should say is then is See, this is a finger pointing down, right? This is pointing out. This is pointing. See, and that just makes it confusing. Make a fist with your right hand, curled fingers toward you. Right? Stick out your thumb directly to the right. Now aim your pointing finger straight up. See? That's X and Y like normal. And Z pointing toward yourself. Consider a spinning sphere. Every point on it is moving except the ones along the axis. These form a motionless line around which the rest of the sphere spins. It's called the axis of rotation. More precisely, the axis of rotation is a point or a line connecting points that do not change position while their object rotates. Drawn when the observer assumes he or she does not change position relative to the object over time. Conventionally, the direction of the axis of rotation is such that if you look in the direction, rotation appears clockwise, as illustrated below, where the yellow arrow shows the rotational movement. Meanwhile, the purple one shows the rotation axis. And actually, if you look at this arrow, it's actually not showing it. Here, let's do this. It's not showing it. It's showing it actually going. It's not actually showing it clockwise. Like if we hold it up to a face, right? Here, let's see if. Yeah, see this? Clockwise is that ways. It means rotating it to the right. This, I guess, could technically be said rotating to the right. It's going to the right, but so I guess if you're looking through it, but you placed it down here, like flat, where it's like a line, that is clockwise. I see. But anyways, that's the deal. You rotate around the y-axis. Let's say this is y, and this is, we'll say y is up and down, and then you're rotating around it. So I kind of get that. That's not hard to understand. What would happen? Okay. To remember this convention, hold your right hand in the thumbs up gesture. The rotation follows the direction of your curled fingers, then the direction of axis is considered to be the same as the direction which the thumb is pointing in. The gesture is different from form of the right hand rule, sometimes called the right hand grip rule. A corkscrew rule, the right thumb rule, from now on we'll refer to as the right hand grip rule. When describing the direction of rotating an object, do not say that it rotates left to right clockwise or right to left counterclockwise. Each of these has on their own a meaningless because it's relative to the observer. Instead of saying this, find the direction of the axis of rotation and draw an arrow to represent it. Those who know the right hand grip rule will be able to figure out which direction the rotation of the object uses by using the rule when interpreting your drawing. I have no idea what that means. Find the direction of the axis of rotation and draw an arrow to represent it. If I'm doing this, I'm doing counterclockwise. I don't know. See, I mean, you kind of need to know it, but you kind of don't need to know it. In other words, when I'm working in Blender, I can see the effect of what I'm doing. So if I want to move it one way or the other, I just do it. It does, I guess, have to be based on the camera, but anyways, I guess we'll just go to the next one because I'm not sure about the right hand rule at Wikipedia. I don't know if that's going to tell me. Here, let's close this. Right hand rule. Right thumb points along the z-axis in the positive direction. Curl the fingers represent motion from the axis. Huh. I don't know. I mean, I understand it in a sense, but I guess I don't. What is that? HotelDeals.com. Anyways, maybe I'll figure out it later. Maybe I'll understand it a little bit better later next time or something. We're almost done with our deal here. Coordinate transformations. Okay, well, I might just cut this kind of early because, well, I don't know. We'll see. Transformation is any operation that changes coordinate values in some way. For example, if you pick up an object and move it to different places in the room without changing its orientation, when the coordinates of each point on the object relative to the room are adjusted by an amount that depends on the distance and direction between the old and new positions, called translation transformation. Translation simply means move. I'm translating my hand over here. And you usually use the G key to grab in Blender, or to move, or to translate, however you want to say it. Simply turning the object without moving from its original location is called the rotation, like that's rotation. If the object were to get bigger or smaller, that is scaling transformation. In real world, only few objects can be scaled in this way. For example, a balloon can be inflated or deflated to a larger or smaller size, but a bowling ball cannot. Regardless of what can and can't be resized in the real world, any object can be scaled, resized in the world of computer graphics. Scaling it may be uniform, i.e. apply equally in all dimensions, or non-uniform. See, like this one's like squished right there, and this one's like just like that. Linear transformations. The main types of coordinate transformations we'll be concerned with are called linear transformations. Lines that were straight before the transformation remain straight, i.e. they do not become curved. For example, the following diagram illustrates 3 linear transformations applied to a square in the center. Clockwise from the left, a shear or skew, a scale, and a rotation. Plus one non-linear transformation that causes 2 sides of the box to become curved. So you do all this kind of cool stuff, but you can't do that. Multiple transformations. It's possible to concentrate or compose a series of transformations. The resulting transformation can do many things in one operation: translation, rotation, scaling, etc. However, the order and composition of the component transformations becomes important. In general, transformations are not commutative. For example, compare the result of moving our model some distance along the y-axis followed by rotating about the x-axis. This doesn't make sense considering that the axes are fixed and aren't moving with the object. More on that later in global and local coordinates. Transition followed by rotation. Like that. Versus the result of doing the rotation first. In some instances, the three forms of transformation may be applied on a single object concurrently. Such a feature exists in Blender is normally implemented in creating animations. For example, you can decide to pick up the object, first transformation, translation, twist it, second transformation, rotation, and in 3D modeling environment, increase the size of the object, third transformation, scaling. Okay, so I will pick this up tomorrow, and just got to remember what page we're on. So we are on the coordinate transformations. So coordinate transformations, just remember that for tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow.